before a fight, we have the tendency to be too much like, oh, what should I eat? What should I do this? Should I do that? I think it's
too tense.
Too tense, exactly.
Yeah.
When I went in Thailand, I met some world champion Thai boxer, and they smoke, they get drunk before the fight. I'm like, you're fighting tomorrow, man. It's like it's no problem. But when you think about it, this is an extreme. This is to the other extreme.
Yes.
But I don't think it has that much of an effect. You know what I used to eat before a fight? My meal of choice, before I got into reading about eating and stuff like that, I was eating pasta before fight. Most of my fight, I eat like fettuccine Alfredo.
That's a lot of carbs. I mean, it seems like not bad.
Yeah, but
idea.
I mean, it's not bad. But if you talk to, for example, a nutritionist, it will be like, oh my God, it will grab his head. It will be like, are you serious? Oh my God.
Mike Tyson used to eat that. He used to eat a steak and pasta before his fights.
That was my thing. I used to eat pasta all the time, and there's no problem with that for me. And I felt great. But since I start reading about nutrition and stuff like that, it's like, oh, you need to eat clean, I'm like, it never affect me. I don't think it has that much of a big effect. It's more psychological, I think.
Well, it's also, you think about how much energy you're burning. I think for the average person, a bowl of pasta is not a good idea. But for an athlete that's about to fight five-minute rounds against a world-class fighter, you have different energy requirements. You have different nutrition requirements. You can burn off way more fuel. Like I was listening to Chad Mendez on a podcast the other day, and he was talking about how he's so hungry, he eats so much that he has to wakes up in the middle of the night and he goes and eats sometimes.
Wow.
He just can't go a couple hours without eating. He just has this crazy metabolism.
You know what? Since I discovered time restricted eating and intermittent fasting, now I feel better by training with an empty stomach. I feel sharper up here. I feel more creative. Especially in jiu-jitsu, I feel better. I feel lighter on my feet.
Really?
Yeah,
so,
man.
Like you do first jiu-jitsu class in the morning, no food in your stomach?
I never have a food. I haven't eaten today. This is the coffee you give me is the first thing I have.
So when will you eat? It's 12:24 right now.
Well, after this, I'm gonna go train with Freddie Roach, and then
you'll eat.
Then I'll eat,
wow.
And maybe I'll eat another time. I'm a late eater. That's one thing. I'm not too good. I don't like to eat too much early during the day.
Yeah.
I'm not really hungry. I used to eat because everybody eat, but now I'm like, I'm not gonna eat since I've discovered this. I don't eat when I'm not hungry. And the thing is, why people eat is because there's a spike of insulin.
Yeah.
So when I start doing intermittent fasting and time restricted eating, it was hard in the beginning because I was conditioned to eat all the time.
Yeah.
But my body acclimate to it. And now it's very easy. I can eat once a day, it's no problem. Like right now, I could do it. And I think it's good to be hungry in a way. I remember the doctor said something to me. He said, would you rather be like a lion that just had a full belly or an angry lion? I'm like, as a fighter, I'd rather be like a hungry lion. And it makes sense to me. If you look at nature, it makes sense. You know what I mean?
It does make sense, especially when you do time-restricted eating. Your body gets used to burning off fat, too, and using fat as fuel.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. That's why I think when I did the test to compare, my fat percentage diminished. I don't have much fat, but it diminished. And the doctor I met, I says to him, I said, I gained a lot of weight. He said, don't you think I'm going to lose muscle? He says to me, he believed that the weight that I put on, because now I'm about 185 pounds. And when I trained for Bisping, I went up to 197. When after the weigh-in, I couldn't put back that weight up, so I was 190. He believed that the extra weight that I had was more water retention and residual inside my body. It was not like a solid mass. And it makes sense to me. Because now I feel much better. And I'm just as strong and even stronger. Like when I do Olympic lifting, much stronger. Gymnastic, much stronger. Like I feel sharper.